Hi guys, it's Kino. Welcome to another video. So today's reading is going to be a message for the collective. I actually have a lot of notes written down already, and I'm going to try my best to not have it all over the place because there's a lot coming through. But I started by pulling a card to see who this message is for, and I got the Nine of Stones, which is the Nine of Pentacles in the upright. This card has Virgo energy, so shout out to my Virgo placements. More particularly, it's Venus in Virgo. This message could be especially resonating for you if you have that placement, but you obviously don't have to. And I did feel called to look up when Venus is going to enter Virgo next. I am filming this in 2025, so I looked it up for 2025. And that is from September 14th to October 8th. So that period could be particularly significant for you, or the next 3 to 4 weeks from whenever you happen to be watching this, 111 as I'm saying that. So regardless of when you're watching, the next 3 to 4 weeks could be very significant. This is a timeless reading. But what I felt with this Nine of Pentacles in the upright is that this is going to be a message for those whose main focus or a big focus in their life right now is self-love, falling in love with the act of caring for yourself and sort of creating a discipline around that, like a labor of love, the labor of love that it is to work on yourself and improve yourself. And it's not for anybody else, it's for you. People who are learning how to be, or who are ready to be their own best friend, like their biggest supporter, their biggest fan, their biggest advocate, I'm hearing, their biggest cheerleader, your best friend. And I also made a note about Virgo energy. I love Virgo energy, by the way. I think it's beautiful. But there's this duality with it. I guess you can call it a duality. When it's expressed in an unhealthy way, Virgo energy can be overly critical, nitpick things, pick them apart and find what's wrong with it. So if you're expressing your Virgo energy in an unhealthy way, you may do that to yourself, like pick apart, like, why do I do that? Why don't that's stupid? That's blah, blah, blah. The healthy expression of that same energy is to be analytical and seek to analyze with the intention to understand rather than with the intention to judge. So I feel like a lot of people who are drawn to this message are sliding away from that harsh critical energy and sliding into the analyzing, seeking to understand energy. So you are observing yourself, observing your traits, your habits, your mannerisms, your patterns, your strengths and weaknesses, and saying, okay, I see you. I see you, me. Like, how, given all of this information that I've just gleaned from you, how can I best take care of you? Rather than saying, why are you like this? That's not valid. You should fix that. It's given what I know about me, how can I now be my own best friend? So I feel like the collective who's drawn to this message is moving into that more healthy expression of that Virgo energy. And then another card that came up just in my mind's eye, I did not pull this card, but it was the Six of Pentacles. So maybe if you're doing readings for yourself or watching other readings, the Nine of Pentacles or the Six of Pentacles might be coming out for you. Somehow there was a feeling of falling in love with the mundane. It's kind of like you're no longer chasing these big momentous events and these big breakthroughs, which obviously those are awesome when they do happen, but it feels like the collective is on this journey of falling in love with the day-to-day journey, falling in love with the baby steps, and that being satisfying enough and that truly making you happy because you're truly in love with the way that process feels, if that makes sense. The Six of Pentacles, which is the card that I saw in my mind's eye, is related to the moon in Taurus, so that could be significant for somebody. Your Virgo and Taurus placements might be brought into focus at this time. So myself, as an example, I have Chiron in Virgo, and I have the ascendant and south node in Taurus. Interesting. So if you have any placements in those signs, or even if it's like a house cusp, those areas could have messages for you at this time that are significant. So that's one thing. The other thing I've been pondering a lot is the solar eclipse in Aries that we had. This is a timeless reading, but I believe that eclipse's effects are going to be felt for a long time. It was on March 29th, 2025 in the sign of Aries. And I feel like it was really, really powerful. I did a collective message during eclipse season on Instagram, and I still remember one of the cards that came out because it just felt so powerful to me. It was from the Healing Spirits Oracle, and it said, "Your spirit guide can lead you, but can't do it for you." And I feel like if there is a tagline, if that's the word, if there is a slogan for that eclipse in Aries, it is that very phrase. Your spirit guide can lead you, but can't do it for you. This cosmic event encouraged us and continues to encourage us to take initiative for claiming our destiny. Yes, your destiny is yours, but you have to claim it. It doesn't suddenly make it inevitable. You could be born with genius, you could be born with a beautiful gift, but still it must be you who makes the effort to hone that gift and to nurture it. And that often is a mundane process. It's like repetition, perfecting it over and over and over again. That takes that Virgo and Taurus energy, actually, like falling in love with the mundane, being consistent, maybe being a healthy dose of perfectionism to get it just right. You need to be the one who does that. Your spirit guide can't do that for you. And if they could, what's the point? You'll just be on autopilot. And how do I say this? I feel like our purpose is not the thing itself. It's the process. The process of you discovering your gifts, of committing to honing them, perfecting them, mastering them, expressing them to the world, going after the opportunities. I feel like I even said this in that message on Instagram that I did. Like, your purpose is in the actions. Your purpose is in the process. Because if your destiny was that outcome, does that mean someone can just hand it to you on a silver platter and destiny completed? That doesn't sound very fulfilling. That doesn't sound very enriching. That doesn't sound like a process of spiritual growth and spiritual learning. No, because the purpose is in the process. The purpose is in the actions. And I feel like this eclipse season, this message that's coming through right now, it's for those who are ready to embrace that truth and they're ready to take it upon themselves to make their destiny happen. Like, I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to do this stuff. And this feels very, very exciting. I feel like if this message is for you, you will feel excited with my words. Like you're on that frequency. I also thought about how, like, we had this eclipse in Aries, and then Saturn is moving into Aries, Neptune is moving into Aries. Those are the outer planets that affect the collective for a long time, for many years, because they stay in a sign for many years. And I was watching a video by an astrologer called Haley Comet. I think I'm going to link the video down below because it was very informative. I resonated a lot with it. But that astrologer was saying that solar eclipses tend to be more of like a collective change, while lunar is more personal and inward. So I do feel like this is a collective thing that we're going to be seeing. Even a friend of mine, Victasia, who is an Aries, posted on her story Like, we have one life. Why are we not running like we're on fire towards our wildest dreams? And I felt that so much too. Okay, some other things that came through. I heard it's okay if your priorities changed. I heard it's not so bad here. I heard iris, which could be like the flower iris or like an eye. I heard bull target, which I'm assuming is talking about bullseye. Like, you're bang on, you're on the right path. I could imagine everything that I've been talking about, like taking initiative to go after your wildest dreams, that something popped up for you. You knew what I was referring to. You knew the path I was talking about, that you got to get your butt going down. You knew what path I was talking about. And that's your confirmation from spirit. Like, you are bang on, you are on the right path. Yes, that is your destined path. Literally 11:11, as I'm saying that, which I think is so beautiful. I think we recognize 11:11 as a number of destiny, alignment, manifestation, but 1 is the number of the like initiator, the action taker, the go-getter. You are the one who will go out there and make your destiny happen, and nobody else can do it for you because nobody else has your unique blueprint. And if someone did it for you, that wouldn't be your destiny, because your destiny is yours. If someone comes and hands it to you, that's not your destiny, because your destiny is the process of you getting there. You may have a spirit guide who words things a little funny. I'm just thinking about how bull target came out. Like, I know what you're saying, but the wording is a bit weird. You may have a spirit guide who communicates a bit weird like that. You may have a special someone in your life. Like my grandpa, oh, it's gonna make me emotional. My grandpa, English was his second language. I mean, is his second language. It's just that he can't really communicate anymore. But when he did, he would try to say, you know, common English, like idioms and jokes. But then he would just like mess up the wording a little bit, but that made it even funnier, and it was really endearing. And sometimes I think he would just make them up. Like, I remember one time my grandma, I think maybe she had fallen, and so she had a walker for a while, but then she got better and was able to walk around, and he said, "Your nonna's running around the house like a little fox." Which I don't think is an expression. I think he just said it, and it was very cute. So I don't know if there's like a person or an energy around you like that who has their own little unique ways of saying things. Maybe it's you. Maybe that's what makes you a good writer or a good speaker, this kind of colorful wording. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you use the exact words, because we know what you mean. Like, I know what you mean when you say running around the house like a little fox. I know what you mean. I feel like there's something to that, because your destiny might not have exact wording. I'm seeing, I guess I'm in the 5D. I'm seeing maybe your destiny being written in like a big purple book, but it's kind of like translucent. It's not like a physical book, and it's being written down. And the point is not that you do it word for word. It's that you evoke the same energy. I hope that makes sense. Okay, we're gonna get into the cards now. So I think I'll take one more from this deck. I really like this deck. I felt drawn to kind of earthy decks today. Nature inspired, nature, flowers, that kind of thing. What does the collective watching this need to know right now? Came out sideways. The Nine of Thunder, which is the Nine of Swords. Another number 9, so both of the cards that came out are 9s. 9 gives a feeling of, to me, it gives a feeling of an elevated consciousness. Like you've leveled up to a new level of consciousness, a new frequency, a new way of seeing and interacting with the world. You're no longer bothered so much by opposing opinions or opposing worldviews or opposing truths, because it's like, oh, you're just on a different frequency than me. I get it. Like, we might not really mesh, but you're on your own frequency and I'm on mine, and just let it pass. This came out sideways. So, oh, by the way, both of these have like Mercury energy to them. Like it's a Gemini and a Virgo card. If it came out in the upright, I would say that maybe we're worrying, we're overthinking a lot, we're expecting the worst. If it came out in the reverse, I might say that we've overcome that. But it came out sideways. So maybe we're still in the process. We're still in the process of working through negative thought patterns, anxiety, overthinking. We're kind of halfway in and halfway out. This is actually reminding me of something that happened to me recently, and I would love to know if someone can relate to this. I can't remember what it's called. It's like reticular something. There's like something in your brain that you can train it to notice things. I'll look it up later. So if you focus on the negative in life, then your brain learns to keep looking for negative. But if you focus on the positive, your brain learns to keep looking for the positive. So I was kind of training myself to look at the positive, and it still kind of feels like this sometimes. It's like I started to shift into that mindset of looking for the positive, but I hadn't quite left the negative mindset yet. And so I was in this really or still am a little bit, in that uncomfortable middle ground where it's like I'm noticing negatives and I'm noticing positives, and it's a bit overwhelming. It's like I'm on both frequencies at the same time. I have to make everything about DJing, but it's like the transition where you still hear both songs. Like the new song has come in, the old song is not out yet, and you're hearing both. And if they're harmonious, it sounds great. But a brain focused on the positive and a brain focused on the negative at the same time is not harmonious. It's overwhelming. It's chaos. At least that's how I've felt it. I'm like, I don't have the processing power to focus on both, but that's where I'm at right now. And that's just the uncomfortable part of the transition. So maybe some of you resonate with that energy where it's like your brain is learning to focus on positive, but is not quite done with the negative thought patterns, and you feel them both. Or you could just take this as like, you're making progress. You're making progress to shift to a brain that focuses on the positive and that has, I'm hearing graduated a lower frequency. When I say lower, I guess I mean more unpleasant. I don't know if I really get the whole low and high frequency thing, because I just think of sounds. And like, is a low sound worse than a high sound? Is a low frequency color worse than a high frequency color? I don't know. But probably the frequencies that we're talking about with that are like a bajillion times higher than anything we see or hear. I actually looked up recently the frequency of color. I think it's like 1 trillion times higher than the frequency of sound. I could be very wrong with that, but it was an astonishing figure. So when we're talking about the like frequency of a reality, I'm sure it's like way out of the ballpark of whatever I can muster to conceive. Okay. You know what else I'm noticing on this Nine of Swords card? This Nine of Swords person is looking up at the night sky and is also wearing a dress made up of the night sky. So I don't know who needs to hear this, but make sure that you're not making your anxiety your identity, that you're not making your insecurities your identity. What do I mean by that? Make sure you're not saying like, this is just who I am. This is just how I am. That is dangerous. It's a dangerous way to keep yourself trapped, and it also robs you of the joy of really getting to know your true self, because I promise you, you are not your negative thoughts. You are not your anxiety. No matter how long you've had it. Okay, so I'm switching up the decks now. I'm going with the Antique Anatomy Tarot. Let's talk a bit about your destiny. What can we know about your destiny and your path there? Because I feel like this reading is about falling in love with the path there. What can we know about your destiny and the path there? Okay, this side was a bit higher. Okay, so we have the Six of Blades, which is the Six of Swords in the upright position. Okay, for some of you, your destiny does involve like a move, a relocation of some kind. This can be happening on any sort of scale. It could literally be like moving house, moving offices, moving departments, even like moving faculties within the same school, or moving to a different school. It could be moving to a new neighborhood, a new city, a new country, a new continent. Yeah. Relocation, moving. I also just heard redistribution, which is probably talking about a redistribution of your time, energy, resources. That's reminding me of that message. It's okay if your priorities changed. No shame in that. No shame in the game. I think that's an expression. I think that is. No shame in the game, or no shame in my game, or something like that. Also really beautiful to get the Six of Swords as a confirmation of being able to shift to a more positive mindset and a more pleasant frequency for you. That's exactly what the Six of Swords means. And that doesn't mean that negative thoughts won't ever arise, or that worries won't ever arise. Also kind of cool, like we got 2 9s and a 6, and like 6 and 9 look the same. They're just like oriented differently. 996 could be 1996. I feel like that came out in a reading recently. 1996. I don't know. That's just like fresh in my mind. Which is Year of the Rat, in case that's relevant. What does that mean? I just heard using an opposing force as leverage. I guess that's part of the path to your destiny. if you harness the opposing force in the right way, you can actually make it work for you. This is kind of a weird example, and it will probably take some translation into terms that make more sense. But I'm seeing a ship that wants to go in a certain direction, and so the wind needs to be blowing a certain way to hit the sails and make it go forward, but the wind is blowing in the opposite way. And then someone is inventing like a device that is powered by the wind going the wrong way, but that device makes the ship go this way. So it's like they're figuring out how to use the energy moving in the wrong direction, something that's working against them. They're figuring out how to make that power something that pushes them in the right direction. That's going to take some translating, I think, to apply to your situation, but maybe there's something that comes to mind that you perceive or that objectively is working against you, moving you in the wrong direction, and somehow you can use that force to push you to where you want to go. And I'm hearing like ingenuity. So it might take a bit of creative thinking. Like it's not, it's kind of counterintuitive. But yeah, you can make anything work for you. Okay, we have the Ace of Cups, Ace of Elixirs, it's called in this deck, and it came out in the reverse. And in this deck, the Ace of Cups is a love potion, something you would use to make people like you, to make people fall in love with you or be attracted to you. It came out in the reverse. We could interpret this as dumping it out. You're dumping out the love potion. You have no interest in using it. You have no interest in doing things for the express purpose of making another like you. I heard even yourself, but I don't really know what that means. You have no interest in doing things like that. You know, like what, if you gave someone a love potion and then they fell in love with you, does that really mean anything? Are you going to be fulfilled by that love? No, they drank a potion, of course. It's not organic. You may be in an era where you only seek organic love, or yeah, like I don't want to have to convince someone to like me or convince someone to stay with me. And for this to come out in a reading about your destiny, I do think it is a reminder that if someone's meant to be in your life, you don't have to give them a love potion. You don't have to do like manifestation rituals to make them like you or make them want to be with you if they're meant to be in your life. Yeah. You may even be, some of you may even be trying to feed a love potion to someone who's already meant to be there. And it's like, you don't have to go to all those lengths. Because if they're meant to be there, they're going to be there. Some of you are going to stop administering the love potion and see who sticks around. And that will be very revealing. This love potion, it could be so many different things. Like it could be people-pleasing tendencies. It could be ignoring your own boundaries to give to people I guess that's kind of part of that is people pleasing. Presenting yourself in a certain way, dressing a certain way, professing certain beliefs, even like doing certain activities or certain hobbies or posting certain things online. The love potion could be a lot of different things. Oh, there's only a few minutes left on my card. It's 4 minutes. We only got 4 minutes to save the world. Okay, we are back. But yes, we are pouring out the love potion. We don't need it anymore. Also, because this is coming out regarding the path to your destiny, I think another important message is, in order to pursue this path, you are going to have to do things that some people don't like, that some people disagree with. It's gonna happen. And maybe some of you are hearing this message and you're like, yeah, I know. Like, I'm already doing that. For some of you, that may be a given. But I do know that for some, that can be a scary thought. For some, it can be a concept that it's very easy to say it. Like, yeah, you can't please everyone. You can't make everyone happy. Like, we know this, but in practice, it can still be really hard to know that, like, someone out there is disappointed or someone out there expected something else from us, or someone, I'm saying someone out there, but like, could be someone close to us. Some people are going to disagree with what you're doing. But the good news is, for this collective, is that it seems like you are on the journey to becoming your own best friend. And so hopefully this is not going to faze you that much, because, I mean, you're gonna value what your best friend thinks, aka you, more than what someone else might say. Remember, whoever has an opinion about your path, they don't have your blueprint. So they can't really give a totally accurate opinion about what you should do. And anyone who's giving you advice is kind of they're not giving advice to you, knowing your blueprint and knowing your essence and knowing your whole story. They're giving advice to whatever projection they have of you, what they assume that your goals are, what they assume is gonna make you happy. Maybe they're giving advice based on what they would do, but you're not them anyway. So I'm not saying you can't take advice, but take it with a grain of salt. And you are going to be, at some point on the path to your destiny, you are going to be going against someone's advice or going against someone's expectations. And for some of you, I'm feeling like that's not going to be a problem. For others of you, it could be difficult. Like, even though you know deep down what you want to do, it's easier said than done, to be like, oh, well, I can't make everyone happy and I just have to do what's best for me. Like, so easy to say. But when you're in that uncomfortable moment, it's not that easy. It gets easier with practice, though. Okay, I just want to take maybe one more card from the Guardian Angel Tarot. Can we get a final parting message for this collective who is, this sounds cheesy, but I'm gonna say it, so brave and so badass for recognizing the huge and very important role that they play in their own destiny. Woo. And so admirable for committing to it. Ooh, we have the Guardian of Thought, which I believe is, oh man, it's the something of swords. I want to say the king. Maybe I should read it. Maybe that would help. But even just that phrase, the guardian of thought. Take care of your thoughts. Protect yourself from things that might instill negative thoughts in you. Keep your mental diet clean. Guardian of thought. You may be called upon to be a spokesperson for a cause close to your heart. Okay, for some of you, that could be a part of your destiny. And I guess I should say that your destiny is not just one thing or one path. It's a lot of things. And you may prioritize one over the other. That's up to you. You may focus on two of them. You may do all of them. It's not just one thing. You may be called upon to be a spokesperson for a cause close to your heart. Your angels will give you the perfect words and you'll do brilliantly. You may be asked to be a mentor or find one yourself. This situation involves someone who's professional with a positive attitude and fresh ideas. You are this professional with a positive attitude and fresh ideas. And when you find yourself surrounded by this type of person, that's how you know you are on the right path. That's how you know you're on the bull's target. This person may be emotionally unavailable. This could be you. This could be someone else. I find this so funny. I don't know if it's gonna focus this close because I'm just imagining, do you see like this goofy looking guy and like the expression on his face? And I'm just imagining like he's emotionally unavailable. I don't know why that tickles me so much. I really get a kick out of that. I'm emotionally unavailable. But yeah, could be you, could be someone else. I think it's very interesting. There might be something to be said about someone who's emotionally unavailable and yet wants to administer a love potion. Because I think we would all, with our conscious mind, we would all say, I'd rather have real love than fake love. But our actions might not be aligning with that. We might say that we want real love, but then the type of love that we're pushing for or attracting with our actions, with the way that we present ourselves, is one of a more fake nature. There could be someone who wishes another would open up, but is not opening up themselves. Wishes someone would be emotionally available, but is not emotionally available themselves. I don't think I'm speaking to everyone here, so you'll know if that's for you. And also I want to say, like, if you do resonate a bit or a lot with that idea of seeking or attracting fake love, that's totally a conditioning thing. You know, I think we grow up in a society that glamorizes and idolizes people who are on the receiving end of a lot of like surface level love or inauthentic love. And we're like, oh, I want that, and then I'm gonna feel loved too. When the things we do to make people like us are often glorified in society, the things that one could do to make people like them, the surface level things one could do, are often held up on a pedestal. So I think it's a matter of conditioning that we come to want those things and want the type of attention that gives us, the type of validation that gives us. Yeah, it's definitely a conditioning thing. I don't know who needs to hear that, and that feels like a bit of a heavy message to end on. But maybe that's something that we ponder, because overcoming that and having the courage to dump out your love potion, whatever it is for you, whether okay, for some of you, I just heard it's your work ethic. Your work ethic is your love potion. The way you dress, the way you speak, the way you serve others, the way you show up for others. Dumping out that love potion and not relying on it anymore, and knowing that whoever is meant to love me and whoever is meant to be in my life, I'm not going to have to use this. That was actually really, I'm just thinking about my current relationship, because I was so used to administering love potions to, I guess, romantic interests, but like specifically men. And when I tried to give my current partner my love potion, he'll be like, what are you doing? Then I feel silly. Like, you don't have to do that. Take care of yourself. Like, you're more important. This is more important. That's more important. What are you giving me this love potion for? Because I was trying to do certain things or be a certain way to make my partner like me. And when someone actually likes you, they're gonna be like, what are you giving me this love potion for? Don't be silly. Okay, that seems to be a big takeaway then. If you're gonna do reflection after this message, what is my love potion? What's the thing that I try to give to people? Oh, you will now fall in love with me. You will now like me. You will now want to be my friend. You will now think I'm cool. Whatever it is. What is your love potion? Because when you realize you don't need it and you dump it out, that's when you are on the path to your destiny. That's one sign. Some kind of moving or relocation, and being surrounded by positive people with fresh ideas, perhaps professional people. I just saw 12:25 on the camera timer, so I thought of Christmas could be significant. I wouldn't have seen that number unless I changed the card, so I feel like I was meant to see that. Wow, bottom of the deck is Healer of Thought. And this could be the King and Queen of Swords, if this Guardian is the King. Healer of Thought. The Guardian of Thought and the Healer of Thought. It's time to clean up your life. Get rid of anything that clutters your space or makes you disorganized. People who take from you but don't give back should be released as well. You or another person involved in this situation is wise, insightful, and caring, has a wonderful sense of humor, and offers a lot of life experience. Nice. Okay, so I think those are all the messages. I think we're going to end it here. So thank you so much to everyone who is here watching right now. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. I hope you have a wonderful day or night whenever you are watching this, and I wish you all the best. Please take good care of yourself, stay healthy, and I'm sending you so much love. And I'm gonna have all my links down below, Instagram, Patreon, music, all that stuff. I'm sending you so much love, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.